Hi. Welcome to the Human Design for Marketing podcast. I'm your host, Yvette Mayer, and this show's for you if you're done with cookie cutter marketing and ready to build your personal brand in alignment with who you really are. Let's dive in.
Yep.
Hello and welcome back to the Human Design for Marketing podcast. And this week I have a special guest. I am bringing on Alicia Bettison. Alicia is an incredible woman who I've actually known for many years. We first crossed paths in doTERRA. Today, she is an intuitive business coach. And over the years, her husband and her have built companies to 7 figures. I know, right? Massive, across various different businesses. And it's been a ride. And we're going to talk about the journey to 7 figures and past, what's happened since. I'm also going to, I'm going to start us off before we even go there by inviting Alicia to share with you guys all about her design and what it feels like to live in that design. Some of you are going to relate to this. She is headline, an emotional Money-Gen 2-4 profile. But from there, I'm going to hand it over to you, Alicia. Big welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Okay, what is it like? I think one of the coolest things since coming across human design and just exploring that over the past few years is feeling a deep sense of not relief, but it's kind of like a relief to how I've been literally operating my whole life and looking at things where I have flowed and where it hasn't flowed, and understanding that literally that is how I'm designed and why things work in a certain way, instead of it being things that people have told you are wrong, or you can't, like, particularly you can't be that emotional. It's not, you can't do this, you can't do. I'm like, but you don't understand. Or many gens, you will understand this when people say you're just gonna focus on the one thing. Like, literally, we're designed to be lit up by many things at once. And although I was already doing this and understanding that was my truth, it's just like this big warm hug, this big warm hug that comes in and goes, you know what, that's actually what you're designed to do. Like, all of those feelings and indications that you that I have felt within me. So over the years, just trusting that deep voice inside of me. Like, there can be so much happening on the surface. There can be so much going on in life or whatever. Again, particularly if you're a Money-Gen, I think. I can only speak from my experience. But I've always had this deep-seated knowing, if that makes sense. And again, like, I think that now understanding the defined centers in human design, it makes sense that I do have a deep-seated grounding foundation. So even in the most tumultuous times in my life, the most traumatic times, the most emotional times, there was still this feeling of a solid ground that I was able to kind of tap into, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And look, I've really enjoyed working with you over the last year or so to get to know you even better than I already did through your design, actually. And I'll never forget when I first did a reading for you, how much emotion came through you, because you really saw yourself so much. Would that be fair to say?
Absolutely. I think that when it's one of, and I've just actually really been looking into this since doing the frequency project with you, understanding that is probably one of the biggest gifts from the human design as well, is understanding that you can just allow yourself to be who you really are.
Exactly who you are.
Yeah, exactly who you are. And that if you, I don't know, kind of get lost along the way, there's like this it's like a blueprint. I mean, and you combine all of these beautiful systems that we have, or rituals, or whatever. So when I had my first session with you, it was like being fully seen and fully understood. And I hadn't ever experienced that myself, only in myself, right?
Wow,
Having
so
the
interesting.
sense of that within me, but so many times feeling misunderstood, but also understanding, again, recently, is that that's a space that I have held for people over so many years. Being in that space to allow people to be fully seen, fully express their emotions with no judgment from me,
That's
because
who you're designed to be.
exactly, I'm getting goosebumps. Look at this, right? But just really understand. I'm like, why is it that, there's always people that will come to me and they're like, they've never told anyone these things, and they're going through. I'm able to hold able to hold their emotions without taking them on as me, and taking them into my space.
I envy that. As someone with an open solar plexus, I find it very hard not to take other people's emotions on.
Oh, don't get me wrong. If I don't have my bubble, like, and I'm like going, and it happens all the time. I'm like, what is going on here? And I'm like, oh, like I literally didn't have my awareness up, and something has kind of landed, and I'm like, but it's able to recognize that it's not my own. And so it was a really beautiful experience, and it's just like this continual unfolding, as it is anyway, life, right? But understanding more about line 2 recently as well, and because originally, like the hermit, I'm like, what? I mean, yes, I love my own space, but really understanding the gifts that come with that when you allow yourself that, I think because we're so conditioned, your society conditioned that you've got to do things a certain way. Again, like coming back to, that's when the gifts and the creativity and everything comes out for me. Like I literally need that space to fully step into
your power.
Yeah.
Great segue. So I'm sure we have a lot of listeners who share your 2-4 profile. I know I have a lot of 2-4s in my community, and I love working with you, but it is a more challenging profile when it comes to marketing, when you really dig into it. Yeah, I mean, it's, it's there, it's hermit, it's influence, but not necessarily online influence. It's one-to-one influence. So how has this affected you and your marketing approach?
Okay, so this actually really confused me at the beginning. I'm like, I was like, I understood it because I'm like, well, okay, that's me. Like, I get that. How on earth do I use that in marketing in the normal sense, in what we've been taught? Yeah, exactly. And I was really stuck with it for a bit. However, again, like deepening into the conversation, the curiosity, whatever, and since the Frequency Project, uncovering the offers and my message, like deepening my connection with that, because I knew there was more to uncover, which is why I went into working with you anyway, with looking particularly at the profile lines and how, and understanding how to actually use them with marketing. That is where it dropped in for me. And now with my offers, now it makes complete sense on, like I'm all good. Like I've always been about having the conversations with people in the DMs. I'm like, well, how am I going to market stuff? Like if I'm just supposed to be like talking to people and being social on social media, rather than just literally popping popping my stuff up and selling all the time. However, I was like, well, that's literally how I operate anyway.
It's your innate way of operating. It's how I find the marketing strategies to express that to my advantage and to help my community find me.
Yeah. And so I guess the only thing that was left with, okay, well, this is awesome. I understand how I best do things. I'm like, wicked. That is amazing. The final piece of the puzzle is understanding and deepening even into the inquiry of my human design and astrology as well, as to the new offers that I'm coming out with my business. I'm in a space of repositioning. Thank you to the Frequency Project. And so I have some beautiful current offers, but I'm really looking forward to deepening those and expanding on those after understanding more on the profile lines 2, 4. So the line 4 is literally the networking and everything. So I love affiliate marketing, network marketing. So again, I'm like, well, I didn't understand how to, like, going, okay, well, if I'm meant to be out there, but I'm supposed to be a hermit, how is it that I work these things? So your Trello board with the list on what to do, and combining that with the report that we get with the human design and the content prompts there, it's just brilliant. It's
Look,
so
to the audience, I did not get Alicia on to tell you how brilliant the Frequency Project is, but thank you. And we will talk about the Frequency Project. And I appreciate that so much. And I've really loved having you inside the program. And fun fact, in the last round of the Frequency Project, there were prizes, as there are in the current launch that I'm going into, for being in the live launch event, the Influence Activation Masterclass, and being visible. There's a bit of a checklist of criteria to go into the prize draw, which was $3,000 worth of prizes. And guess who won number 1 prize? Alicia. So it's a real thing. If you are inside Influence Activation and you're wondering whether people really win the prizes, yes, Alicia can tell you. You won private time with me, and I think that has, that's just added to how much clarity you've gained in this process.
Yeah, I think the confidence that I've received through the entire process, and definitely doing the one-on-one coaching with you, Yvette, like brilliant. To confidently sidestep, or just move pivot into pivot. And like I said, talk about repositioning. I mean, I've been in the wellness space for 20 years, and business as well, like for a long period of time, but just I'm so excited about what's coming. Like I feel like this is just the beginning for everything. Yeah, it's beautiful.
So I'm sure, let's move, I'm sure you'll still reference human design, but I'm sure there are women out there in the audience who either have an affiliate networking type of business, or they have a network marketing type of business, or they have other types of businesses and are considering bringing on one of those things to complement what they're doing. Now, you are somebody who is so expert status in this arena and has made it not just, let's call it a side project, but an opportunity for light workers to create a more freedom-based life by bringing these things together. Can you share with us what you do and how you help women?
Okay, so I think the number one thing is helping them align to what they're really passionate about, because I find most of the time, like there's so many opportunities out there, right? Most of the time people will just grab them because they're an opportunity, and yes, you can make money with them. That's great, right? But if it's not truly aligned to who you are, and you don't understand your message and how you're selling it and how you're going to get it out there, it can just be like another thing. So I would suggest that you literally look at your human design chart first. You can jump online. I know you have a link as well. Just so that you can understand a little bit more about, about yourself and what you're here to do, so that it aligns with what you're currently doing, and so that you can deepen and leverage and give you the leverage and some more cash flow to focus on what it is that you're truly here to do. I'm going to use the example. So we have traditional businesses as well, and even bringing in new traditional type businesses, having them focused around passions and around how we best operate and how we want to create our business and our lifestyle. It's a huge thing. And so definitely do that. Now with me, I think it's reconnecting you with your soul's purpose, and I guess kind of clearing out anything that's kind of gotten in the way. There's a lot of conditioning, a lot of emotions can get in the way, and a lot of other people's stuff, just bringing you back to yourself, and looking at what it is that you truly want to create, and then go from there, instead of looking at opportunities and trying to fit them into.
So what I'm hearing from you, which I see happen so much, is people getting into affiliate or network marketing, focusing on, will this be an easy way to make money, instead of, like, how does this fit with and align with what I am here to do? What's my soul's purpose? Is this something that I can speak with complete conviction about? And do I need to just focus on one thing, or is it a couple of different opportunities? Talk to us about that a bit more. How many do you work with yourself?
Okay. I think I just added another couple of potential income streams recently. And I think, look, that's the thing. Like I kept hearing, and there's a lot of I'm going to say propaganda out there saying to everyone that this is the way to do it and this is the way to make success, right?
Yeah.
And people will have success with that particular, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It could be, oh, you've just got to focus on the one thing. You've just got to do it this way. This is the cookie cutter way to do it. This is how I did it. Understanding that way is not the right way for everyone. That is why
which opportunity you take.
It's why people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on all these different courses, when literally, if they understood themselves better by just looking at who they are to begin with, they could save themselves a lot of time and effort. Like, cutting down that timeline. But the reason why, why else, like, you wouldn't want to be here to be doing anything else other than your purpose. Like, I remember thinking over 20 years ago, looking at what I saw in life and going, this cannot be it. Like, I understand that, the whole like 9 to 5 and the working and stuff. I'm like, that just did not make sense to me. I didn't understand at that point on that, why I would even think that. Like, I thought I was a Fruit Loop, really. It was like, why would I think that way? But, little did I know that if you don't have a connection to any kind of purpose or passion, like, you kind of like, what is there? So why would you, when there's so many opportunities out there, just grab whatever because it looks good? I've turned down so many. I've turned down amazing ways to make money, no doubt, right? However, do they fit in with, like, my parameters, some of the things that I've set up is, like, looking at what is the most important in my life at the moment. Does that align? Is it, and by alignment, I don't mean kind of fit in, kinda. that
Yeah.
literally it is a natural flow, a natural progression, a natural, like it just makes sense, right?
And then
If it
because of your line 4, when you are, and you know, I think if anyone's a 2-4 listening to this and we're on this topic, you are just such a powerful, influential human when you're in that place of, I love this, everybody needs to know about it. It's a natural extension of who you are, not something that you've kind of forced in as an opportunity to make money.
Yeah,
Right?
100%. And over the years, like I've looked at things and been in situations where I've tried to force the issue or been doing like a challenge with other people, whatever, and it just wasn't vibing for me. And nothing like things, if anything, would go backwards in my business because it just was like, well, that's someone else's timeline, that's someone else's, you know, their action, and like trying to shove it into this way of being instead of just allowing it. Now I am a hard worker, yes, but I also understand that and again, just recently, it doesn't need to be a struggle. Like the ease and flow literally is there. And I look at all of the times when manifesting things, I'm gonna call that in, where I have thought of things and gone, oh my God, this would be so amazing to have in my life. And here I am trying to create it, going, oh, that's going to be a lot of work, but that's okay. No worries, I can do it. Next minute, there's the thing that I've been calling in. Someone's already created it and they go like, here you go. I'm like, sweet. There's my next affiliate. Because
Right.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the line 4, like I think initially I thought the 2 and the 4, I'm like, it's such polarity, but it's just brilliant polarity in the end.
Yeah.
Because like I'm allowed to dip in and out of my cave. I love connecting with other people, that like being around others, like I love it. It's my vibe, but also and
Taking time out.
so taking time out absolutely require that in order to be in my full expression as well. And it's like, I know a lot of people, and if they receive like a diagnosis for what's been going on with them, it's kind of like that. It's a construct that our brains can kind of go, oh, that's right. Instead of it just being like off in the ethers. I get that because like I'm off in the ethers all the time.
I think we all are, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So I know that at this point you are essentially living your dream life.
Yeah.
And I love sharing with others what that looks like and what you've created for yourself and your family. Can you share a little bit about, the fun things like where you live and what your goals are and what your values are and what who you've chosen to partner with and offer support to as a result?
Yeah, sure. So look, it's an interesting thing because I think we are also fed an idea of what success needs to look like. And literally you are the only one that can decide what looks like success for you. And it's very different to, I think, what I thought I wanted. I had certain things on my vision board like 20 whatever years ago. However, I quickly understood, and it's been there the entire time. 20 years ago, I had this vision of, I'm almost in tears now, like of where I am right now. We did this exercise. I'm sure not sure that everyone's heard of it, but it's called Your Ideal Day. And so I visioned my ideal day, and it was living on a property by the ocean in nature, so many trees around. I could hear like kids' feet in the background, smell of the coffee, waking up there with my man. I had none of these things at the time, right?
Yeah.
And through everything and through, there's been different things on my vision board. That thing has stayed true the entire time. And so what was different was how I thought I was going to receive that and how I thought that. So don't hold on to the how. It's like
Mm.
you don't know. Just allow yourself to be supported by all of the gifts and the miracles that are there. Just hold on to that vision for yourself. And so we have this amazing property now by the ocean. We
Of
do have
course you do.
and creating an off-grid retreat. We're switching up how we're doing business and our income streams so that it's focused more in alignment with how we're living. And so we're creating an off-grid sanctuary where we are. And it will be a base so that it's so we can do our travel, and it's just brilliant. Look, there is a lot of hard work left to do. Like, it's this beautiful space that has some trees. It's surrounded by trees. There are some other properties. It's not a massive property, but we've got the places pegged out for the organic garden. We've started the orchard. We have this beautiful shed and studio that's going to be built. We've got this amazing wood that we've salvaged from the oyster leases around the area.
Wow.
That as our fence, and we're going to be placing that on. We're going to be recladding the house and renovating the house. We started up a little passion business for Stu, like a boat hire. And so we're just setting up that space as well. And there will be our retreat space. So we've got the bell tents.
Oh wow, I love bell tents.
Feel like mini retreats,
Oh,
and
great.
mini festival vibes. I've done that a lot in my past. And so the combo of all of the things that we're passionate about in the one spot, while we grow our little family. So yeah.
Wow. And then outside of I know you support women to sort of choose which opportunities are right for them and mentor them into how to bring those offers into the market. What about you? How many kind of affiliate or network marketing businesses are you running for yourself at the moment?
I have a few main ones, and then I have back end ones. Like, I'm going to call it a marketplace.
Yeah.
And so, being a manager, and
There's a lot.
there is a lot. And
Yeah.
so I have affiliate links there that I don't actively promote, but I would recommend to people if they came up. And for years, like, I was told and thought that this was a bad thing. No, you've just got to focus on the one thing. Absolutely. It makes sense to have a clear message and something that you're focusing on to connect with your audience. However, that comes in when you are looking at your personal brand. And I think that, so I'm like, I don't actually know how many. So
yeah, just tell us some of the names. I'm sure some others will relate to you.
Well, so I am actually an affiliate with the Frequency Project, because
yes, I've invited her into the Frequency Project. Yay!
And so absolutely 100%, because it's like it is something that I love, and it is completely in alignment with me, and I believe people need that information. Another one is Soulcraft with Carmen Marshall. She is so beautiful, and again, like, looking at the network marketing industry, 20 years ago, she was literally doing her own thing, focusing on how she wanted to building a personal brand and everything, while everyone else was like, telling her that it needed to be another way. And so she's built this amazing business. She's got an amazing course called Soulcraft, Your Way to 100K. And so that I have done that course, and I absolutely recommend it. It will give you everything that you need if you're in the network marketing space and want to do things differently, and focused on your passions. Like, it really supports you in doing that. So there's a couple of there's a Inner Bloom. So Inner Bloom is a new space that I came across. It's a women's wellness and wealth academy brilliant,
Oh.
amazing community, amazing content. Like there is a ridiculous amount of content in there. So I don't think you need to go anywhere else if you are looking for anything mindset, well-being, as far as it comes to courses, and it's like energy frequencies. It's digital marketing. It's got so much in there as well, to support people. And so that was something recently that I was like, this would be amazing. I was already having conversations with people saying, this is what I'm looking to create. And then
you found it.
Well, yeah. And like, to me, that makes sense. Like with what I'm doing, I'm like, if someone has created something that I look at and believe that this is something that I'm willing to put my name to, and it saves me the work so that I can continue forward. Like this is something that I would totally offer to someone who needed it. So there is there's a 10K masterclass with Regan Hillier. Amazing. I loved it when I did it. And so, and there was an offer with that, and it's an MRR. So the Inner Bloom is MRR. So master resale, right? So I'm not going to go into that, but it's another way that people can earn money. And also the most beautiful thing is that I am with doTERRA essential oils. And so
that's been a bit of a homecoming, hasn't it? I think
absolutely. Yeah. So look, I've been using essential oils for like 30 years.
Okay.
And I have used doTERRA essential oils, and I very recently, have aligned with them and partnered with them to integrate within my business, not just because of the oils, and it just makes sense. Like I use them every day. Like before I got done here, I've got spearmint.
Clarity of communication. I've got my oils behind me. You can't see it, put my background on.
So the oil of confidence speech.
Here we go.
It's beautiful. And so one of the biggest things is that it can support, well, it supports yourself and so many different, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, environmentally. And again, it just makes sense. And so, I feel like I'm home with that. And then I have some other affiliate links for like things that I use, like Flowdesk, or that some other courses that I have done that I'm not actively sharing at the moment, but they're in like a marketplace. So women's circles, integrative nutrition,
all the things.
all of the things. That's it.
I love this for you. And I really wanted you to talk about this because I think that there is a lot of myths that go around this space. And the fact that you're, as a Manny-Gen 2-4, able to create whatever you want from this, to me, that's just so powerful. And I wanted my listeners to hear that there are so many different ways to do business and marketing.
But it just needs to light you up. Like, why, like I said, there's a million ways to make money, but if you chase money, it's elusive, right? If you are just literally everything is, and you're excited about it, particularly as a Manny-Gen, right? Particularly as a like, you have to be lit up. Otherwise, it's not gonna translate. But I would imagine just, if you're a normal human being, like whatever you are, like Manny-Gen generator, like whatever, it needs to make sense. It needs to make sense for you. Otherwise.
So do you have like a call link that the listeners could get in touch with you if they're curious about how this could work for them? I'll pop it in the show notes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'll give you a link to pop in there.
Brilliant. Well, before we go, I would love to hear a little bit about your Frequency Project experience. So tell me why you decided to sign up.
I was calling it in. I felt that I've done lots of courses over the years. Some are finished, some I haven't. As a Manny-Gen, again, understanding that like I can skim over the thing and get what I need, and that's okay. Take what you need and leave the rest, right? But there was a pivotal moment for me, understanding that now is the time. now is the time for me to step into fully who I'm here to be. But also that's really only, I've kind of always done that, right?
Yeah.
There's been new developments as to what I'm like, my understanding as to what I'm here for now. And so the frequency project for me, understanding like it's all about vibe. It's all about the frequency, right? Like
Yeah. Oh my God, there's a song about that.
I know, right? So and look, I know you know your stuff. Like, how amazing to have someone who's got the experience in marketing that you have, and bringing in the human design. But just more than that, it's like what I received and the value that I'd already received just from watching you, and like the content that you've put out there. And understanding how that can help with my business. Because like I already understood the human design.
Yeah.
But as far as like, how the hell, how do I get that out there? So that was why, like, I completely trusted you and in this space. And I'm so stoked that I did it. It was a bonus that I won the prize as well, and got that extra coaching with you. Like, I cannot even describe how grateful I am. I really feel like there's been there has been so much. It's just like I've been like continually unfolding since beginning that. And I still need to dive back in and, with the new information, the new downloads that keep coming. It's like literally allowed myself to like be in the vibe, be in the frequency of me. And like, just I can't even thank you enough. I don't know if that's
Well, I mean, I can't thank you enough for those incredible words. And I really have witnessed you blossom over these last couple of months. You have a new authority about you, a more confident way of expressing yourself. And honestly, I do this work because I want to spread this ripple effect of what's possible with human design and marketing, and to hear how it's affected you is so fulfilling for my little generator heart. So thank you for sharing that.
I completely believe, like, again, like this is the connection I believe people need to have with their affiliate, whatever they're offering, right? I 100% know that people, like, I'm going to say, like, they need this information. Like, it is a requirement. Like, I need to send people to you, like, even if it's just getting their chart done, but through you understanding the human design for marketing, like that bit there. Yeah, because otherwise, like, I know better how to work with them. I know better how to help them.
Yeah,
if I'm going to understand like where they're at with
yeah, and honestly, one of the great things about the Frequency Project is you're not just getting access to your profile. If you do have a new client coming along and you want to dive into a little bit more of their chart, you can do that inside the portal as well.
100%. And so I've got to reference this because now I understand why I used to grind my gears with the profile testing that you do in corporate.
Oh yeah. Where you answer the questions in the way that you want to get the answer back. That one.
I know. And I was like going, this never made sense to me. And I'm like, now I understand why. I'm like, yeah, I was always all of the things. And they're like, oh yeah, we're all a little bit of a little bit of each of them. But like,
so you actually got a pretty fair representation that it was muddy because of your many gen ways.
And people were like, oh, that doesn't make sense. But it was always so close. There were two that would come out in front, but like, I don't understand. Like, this, but literally, So I just can't recommend it enough.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I love your story. I think the journey you've been on, your incredible life, and we didn't get into this, but you really came from a like on your knees, like worst case scenario, into what is now this most abundant and fully self-expressed experience of life that you're living. It inspires me. You inspire me. And I really appreciate you sharing your story. And I encourage you as a listener, if anything that Alicia's been speaking about has resonated, get in touch with her. She's just such a guru when it comes to, well, wellness and soulful business, and making sure that you are in alignment with the way that you express your gifts and are monetized for your magic. So yeah, I'm going to have her details in the show notes. And a big thanks again, Alicia, for sharing your story with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're so welcome. Goodbye, my friend.
Bye.
Bye. There are heaps more resources in the show notes. I can't wait to be back in your ears again soon. Bye for now.